What's up, guys? Hopefully you can hear me all right. Hopefully the audio isn't too loud in the background. Let me just make sure I'm using the right microphone. I am. All right. So hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of It Builds Character, a show where I build popular characters from pop culture and or concepts created by you, the fans of this show and this channel. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an apology for my attendance in recent weeks. Last week, I guess I was just so beat. My son was sleepy, so I laid down to take a nap with him, and the two of us just passed out, and I slept right through It Builds Character last time, and I'm sorry. So also, thank you for the follow. When that pops up here, I will greatly appreciate it. And yeah, tonight's suggestion was Sephiroth from Final Fantasy. There are a couple different versions of Sephiroth we could have built or could still build. We have Crisis Core, 7, Advent Children, and then Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to just go with 7. Obviously, Crisis Core is part of that. Advent Children, I didn't particularly enjoy the movie, and it was just the whole concept of the movie was weird. So we're ignoring that. We're ignoring Kingdom Hearts. We're just going with Core Final Fantasy VII for the build, and we're going to jump into that in just a second. But first, I wanted to do a little bit of an update. You guys will get it here first if you're here watching. A video and an update will come out shortly after this stream. But if you guys are unfamiliar, I'm going to put a link in the chat here. A giveaway link. We're currently giving away these 2 sets of the HasCon exclusive My Little Pony D&D dice tins. They're super cool. There's a video of me doing an unboxing if you click the link to go to the actual webpage. All you have to do to sign up to win these dice is follow us on Twitch and subscribe to us on YouTube, and then actually click to sign up. There are tons of ways for you to get additional entries if you so choose, but the update is now there are 3. I was able to secure a 3rd copy, so I will be giving 3 away. That means the number of winners chosen for this will be 3 winners as opposed to 2. So I just wanted to put out that update for you guys. All right, so that handles that. Let's continue on and jump into building Sephiroth. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII in a very long time, and I was never a PlayStation guy growing up, so Final Fantasy VII doesn't have the impact on me as it does on a lot of other folks. So just want you guys to keep that in mind. I was a hardcore Nintendo fan, and my Nintendo 64 was one of my most beloved systems of all time. And I was a Zelda fan, so Zelda Ocarina of Time won out over Final Fantasy VII, and that's just how it went. So, that being said, we're going to try and build Sephiroth. This is going to be another one of those characters that's going to be a little bit of a weird one to build because he's so powerful. Building a character using the standard array, and then using the standard array to try and build a character that is essentially a god. Obviously, there's going to have to be some creative liberties taken here, so you guys are just going to have to bear with me. So, first off, we're going to start with his stats. It is 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. So, I think we're going to start with the 15 in strength, the 14 in constitution, or maybe, let's see. Give him a 13 intelligence, 12 dexterity, 10 wisdom, and 8 charisma. I guess is where we'll start. Now, obviously, Sephiroth's a bit of a pretty boy, so if you're gonna have to ignore his actual charisma versus what he actually looks like in the game. So keep that in mind for 1. 2, I put Azamar. It's sort of I mean, I really don't know. You can't really define it since his physical body was sort of destroyed and he absorbed all of those was in the life stream and absorbed all the Genova cells. So I went with Azamar more or less just because of the whole one wing thing. But the Scourge Azamar would give him some healing. It'd give him the light cantrip. It'd give him a fear aura. It'd give him the wings, right? The manifested wings. And it'd give him the ability to do additional necrotic damage each turn, which works out pretty well. I mean, that's relatively a sizable thing that he could do, and it would but unfortunately, it would give him +2 charisma, +1 strength, which would put his strength at a 16, which isn't bad. Unfortunately, he's ridiculously powerful. He's super quick. He is ridiculously hardy because he's gotten stabbed with the Buster Sword and all these different things, and his body's reformed. So this is, again, going to be one of those where we get into a little bit of a wonky homebrew situation where he's just going to have a lot of innate abilities kind of granted to him from his kind of Genova-y-ness, I guess we could call it. So we'll just put Azamar. I don't even know what you would really call him. Oh, I went with the soldier background as a little bit of a pun on the soldier program. So we gave him, from that, he got athletics and intimidation proficiencies, and I gave him perception and survival from the fighter background. And I went fighter specifically for Eldritch Knight, and we'll talk about why in just a little bit. He's also fairly intelligent, which makes the Eldritch Knight thing work pretty well. So how are we going to say he gets from... what are we going to call it? Because he's not technically a human. Let's see here. Alright, so let's go with... He'll be like this weird ASMR slash Genova. I don't know what you really want to call it. But basically, we're going to, rather than giving him a +2 charisma, we're going to give him a +2 intelligence. So it'll be 15. And then he's going to be spelled at level 12. Realistically, yes, he's probably level 20, if not beyond. But the nature of It Build's character is we build everybody at 12th level. So, at 4, am I not moving? Mud Puppy? Am I just stuck? It looks like everything is working fine on my end. So, okay, so level 4, we're going to boost his strength to an 18. He's a fighter, so he's going to get some additional ability scores. So at 6, he's going to go to 20. At 8, we will, let's see. At 8, I don't know. Mud Puppy, what's going on your end? I'm not sure. Things seem to be going good on my end. I know you probably can't even hear me, but let's see. So we did 4 and 6. Now we're at 8. Let's do, let's see, he's already proficient in Constitution. What could he get that could give him additional con? Alright, well, we could do this to 16 and this to 11 for 8, and then for 12 we'll give him Resilient Wisdom. So that's where we're at. Now, granted, these numbers should be higher, and we may up them as part of the whole absorbing the Genova cells, but let's keep it where it's at for now, and then we'll come back to that later. So, he is a fighter, and we went with fighter to kind of deal with a couple of the things where he does a bunch of attacks and things like that. So he's going to have fighting style, Fighting style. We're going to go with great weapon fighting. As he wields the... And I'm not sure if it's Masamune or Masamune, but he wields it with 2 hands. So we're going to go with great weapon fighting. So that's reroll 1s and 2s. It's going to have second wind. Bonus action heal 1d10 plus fighter level, which can explain a little bit of his abilities. Some of his regeneration anyway. Action surge. Then he's going to have Eldritch Knight abilities at 3. And that's where we're going to pull in some of his innate abilities. So, he's going to get 2 cantrips from the wizard list. But the part of it was the weapon bond. So, weapon bond. Once bonded. Cannot be disarmed. Can summon a weapon to hand. Is it a bonus action? Bonus action. And this was to cover the fact that he can basically summon the Masamune at will, rather. And that kind of covers that a little bit. Then he's got 2 cantrips, and he's got some spells. So, we're going to go down here, and he's going to have 2 wizard cantrips. I think we're probably just going to go with Firebolt. And due to some of his abilities, we're going to go with Minor Illusion. And the Firebolt may not actually be fire, but that's the functionality of it. It's a spellcasting class. It's fighter. Spellcasting ability is intelligence. And we'll come back to the DCs. So he's going to know... Oops, we should stay down here. 3 spells on the... 3 spells, Abjuration and Evocation, and 1 from any list. So he knows 2. He's going to have, basically at 12, we're going to have 4 first level and 3 second level. So 4 and 3. We actually have to build him at 13th level because he gets 3rd level spells, but we'll see. Okay, so he'll know total of... let's just go and look at the spells. So, we're going to jump down to wizard spells. Let's see here. Wizard spells, first level wizard spells. We know 3 at the start. We're going to say Chromatic Orb. And that's going to be the Shadow Flare ability. Yeah, we may have to go to the 13th level for this. So let's see, what else can we give him that's based on what he has. Thank you again for the follows, guys. Greatly appreciated. We're gonna give him... Just looking over what we could give him based off of this. I guess we could maybe give him Jump or Thunder Wave, maybe Magic Missile. Thank you again for the follow. Let's go with Magic Missile. And we'll go with Shield as our non-evocation. Actually, no. Evocation Abjuration, so it should be fine. So we're going to give him Shield. Because it sort of makes sense. You know, it doesn't actually use a shield or use the magical shield, but it sort of fits. So, what else do we got? Oops, too far. Okay, let me just write this down. We can figure this out. So we're going to have 3, 4... Okay, glad to hear it, my puppy. Glad to see that I'm moving around. So we're going to know a total of... Actually, we're going to go to 13th level because of reasons. So he's going to have 9 spells. So we're going to have 2 third... 9. We're going to have 3 first and 4 second, maybe? We'll see how what that comes out to be as we scroll down back to the wizard spell list. I'm just using the player's handbook as well. I guess I could be pulling elemental evil spells, but I'm not going to mess with that too much. Third level spells that he's going to know are Fly and Vampiric Touch. So that's to be Heartless Angel, and Fly is just his flight ability. This is going to be 13. That's going to go to 5. And then we've got second level spells. We're going to go with Levitate. Let's see here. There is one instance of him teleporting, I believe, in Crisis Core. Short range teleport, the only time we ever really see him do that. So I'm going to say he's going to have Misty Step. What else can we give him? Hold Person. I mean, it's more specific to people with a large amount of Genova cells in their body, but that's still not unreasonable for him to have. And then we'll give him Phantasmal Force because that's another one of those illusionary-based things. So Phantasmal Force, and this should be 9, 3, and 4. And there we go. So that covers his spells. That gets a bunch of his abilities handled out there. Chromatic Orb is Shadow Flare. Magic Missile and Shield kind of just fit some of the other abilities he has. He can levitate, he can fly. Vampiric Touch is supposed to cover Heartless Angel as close as we can get. Misty Step for the limited teleport that he's used in a couple of things. And then Hold Person for trapping people. And then Phantasmal Force for some of his illusionary-based moves. So that covers most of it there. Let's jump back up to Fighter. Oh, and he should have 2... as a 13th level character. Should have 2 second levels. Alright. So, let's move on. Alright, so it's 7th level. Right? 2, yeah. At 2nd level, oh, he'll have a 3rd cantrip as well. It's another, I mean, could go True Strike. It's not a good cantrip move, but we'll give it to him. And then he's gonna have, what is this, Weapon Magic? Or War Magic. Which also helps to fit him. When you cast a cantrip, you can make a weapon attack as a bonus action. You cast a cantrip, you can weapon attack as a bonus action. Okay, who's next? And we're gonna jump back to main fighter. As at... Oh, I forgot extra attack was in there. So... extra attack. And we know that there's going to be 2 extra. That comes at 11. Alright, so then at 9, we get Indomitable. Indomitable, 1 use, reroll a failed saving throw. Alright, let's jump back down to our Eldritch Knight. At 10, we get Eldritch Strike. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, that creature... when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, that creature has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes against your spells. Spells you cast before the end of your next turn. So... Eldritch Strike. Ooh. What happened there? Eldritch Strike. You hit a character... Or hit a creature, rather. Creature with... Is it a weapon or a melee? With a... weapon attack, it has disadvantage on saving throws against your spells. Spells cast before the end of your next turn. Okay. We're going to miss out on 15. I guess we could have theoretically allowed Arcane Charge to cover his teleportation if we'd gone all the way up to 15. But that's okay. Do we get anything else? Indomitable we get twice. We get extra attack is 2 attacks. And Indomitable is 2 uses when we hit 13. I think that pretty much covers it. Using Great Weapon Fighting. Oh, this is going to be plus fighter level. Yeah, so that is pretty much the base moves, I believe. Now we get to talk about his Genova-based abilities. So he has a couple other things. He's got the black materia and all that. So we're going to say he's going to have access to Meteor Swarm. We'll say once per let's go supernova Meteor Swarm once per long rest. So that will be Meteor Swarm. What other abilities do we want to say he has? Oh, do I have it here in front of me? Because he has the ability to generate clones of himself. So I'm going to say he has access to Simulacrum, which is a 7th level spell. Simulacrum. And what were they called? Let's see. Yeah, so we're going to go with Simulacrum to cover his ability to generate clones of himself. And we're going to give him 5th level Dominate Person. And it's going to say We're gonna call, actually, that's what it is, avatars. Dominate person. Alright, controlling Genova cells. Okay. So, we can write down here, we'll write Genova / Lifestream infused abilities. Dominate person on Genova. Dominate person. Controlling Genova cells. Simulacrum. Avatars. Supernova. Meteor Swarm. Prolong rest. And this was ability score improvements. +2 strength, +2 strength, +1 int, +1 wisdom, plus, let's see, resilient wisdom feat. So that explains all of this here. Let's see. What else is this going to grant him? He's supposed to be super quick, to be able to swing his sword faster than the eye can see, and all these other things. We're going to say that, like, Octaslash doesn't exist yet, but we're going to say Octaslash is covered into 3 attacks, and then, I mean, eventually it'll be 4 attacks, and then Action Surge will be additional ones. Let's see. I think it's going to probably give him some other abilities too. Because technically they did just release the Unearthed Arcana that showed some of the cool stuff that gave you the new... like, you're an avatar of a demon and it gives you bonuses to things. So I'm going to say it's probably going to give him some additional attack stuff here. But I did want to look up... Where is it? It's down... Running the game... Madness. Let's see here. I'm gonna say that he, in assuming these things, he's gathered some means of indefinite madness. So we're gonna say that he definitely has. This is gonna grant him a plus. We're gonna say +2 intelligence. +4 con institution and a +2 strength. Oh, +2 strength, +2 dex. So this is gonna be 18, 18, 14, 22. And then grants the following indefinite madnesses. This is going to be achieving my goal is the only thing to interest me, and I'll ignore everything else to pursue it. I'm the smartest, wisest, strongest, and most beautiful person I know. I think that's good enough for now. So that gives him a fair amount of abilities. Now we can go through and put in all of his ability scores. 2, 4, 4, 1, -1. And the reason we gave him high intelligence is to cover his Eldritch Knight abilities. So this is 11. This is 2, 9, 4, 6, -1, and 2, 1, 4, 11, -1, 1. Oops, no, I'm sorry, that's 4. 1, 4, 4, 1, 4, 6, -1, -1, 4, 2, 2, 6, and that makes his passive perception a 16. We're gonna say Masabune is a +3 weapon, so that's gonna be 11 plus 14 to hit. We're gonna consider this to be a great sword, so that'll be 2d6 plus 9. And it's gonna have some other stuff we're gonna add to it. Let's do his HP. Or his initiative is gonna be a 2. His HP is gonna be what is it? Actually, we can figure that out pretty easy. 6 and 4 is 10 times 12 is 120. 120 plus 14 is 134. And that is 13d10. Okay. This great sword functions as a +3 sword of sharpness. So, as a sword of sharpness, because it's stated, that it can cut through metal and concrete and all that good stuff, we're going to call it a sword of sharpness. Also, it is really sharp, so it makes sense. So, a sword of sharpness. Maximum damage against objects. Well, it functions as a sword of sharpness. I'll leave that. You guys will read what it does. So, it does maximum damage against objects. If you attack a creature with it and you roll a natural 20, the target takes an extra 14 slashing damage. Then roll another d20. If you roll a 20 with the second one, you lop off part of the target's limbs, with the effect such loss determined by the DM. If the creature has no limb to sever, you lop off a portion of its body instead. We can consider this more impaling than lopping off, since he seems to be a big fan of impaling people. In addition, you can speak the sword's command word to cause the blade to shed bright light. It's fine. That kind of fits with it. So, he doesn't really have much. And his AC, we've got a 12. So if we put him in studded leather, that's a 14. I think his AC might be a little bit higher than that, but not by much, because he gets hit a fair amount. He just tanks through the damage. He's got that kind of cool, leather coat situation that he's got going on. I don't think he actually wears armor. Yeah, it's just that coat, and it's kind of open in the middle. So we're going to call that... I'm going to call it +2 studded leather armor, I guess. +2 studded leather. Black leather coat. So that'll be 2, and 2 is 4, so this will be a 16 AC. And he can bump that up with shield to a 21 if he really needs to. And then we're also going to say that the Masamune can cast... the wielder can cast the Eldritch Blast cantrip as a 17th level character. We're just gonna say because it's him, using intelligence for the attack and damage rolls. So this, again, kind of deals with the beams and stuff that he's able to shoot from the sword. And this, I figure, is Eldritch Blast. It doesn't add the charisma, or in this case, the intelligence modifier, like a, like a warlock would do. But as a 17th level character, that means you could launch forth 4 blasts. And it's 4d10. It's not a ton of damage, but they have the ability to crit. And it gives him, you know, it makes it a little bit closer to what he had in the show. Oh, I guess I should probably put in all of his racial stuff, huh? So we've got Dark Vision, 60 feet, Healing Hands, action, can heal character level in HP. And he's got Light. This is a racial cantrip. Oh, we should just check. As a 13th, when do you get your 4th cantrip? As an Eldritch Knight? You don't. So that answers that. Right, what else does he get for being an Aasimar? Or basically based off an Aasimar. Resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. Oops. Ignore that. Resistance to necrotic / radiant damage. And Healing Hands, Light. And the Scourge Aasimar. It's an action. What is it called? Necrotic Shroud. We're gonna just take these. We're gonna put them there. That way we have some room to move here. So we're gonna right here. Necrotic Shroud as an action. Spring forth skeletal wings. Creatures within 10 feet. Let's make a wisdom saving throw. Is it wisdom or charisma? Charisma, interesting. Let's make a charisma saving throw, or be frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Until the end of your next turn. Let's do anything else. Transformation lasts 1 minute. In addition, once on each turn, you can deal an additional amount of necrotic damage to a creature you damage with a spell or weapon attack. Once per long rest. All right, so let's kind of go through this. So we kind of went through. We gave him some boosted stats because he is Sephiroth and the Genova ability. We sort of built him off an Azamar kind of soldier background. He's a fighter, Eldritch Knight fighter. He's got some boosted stats here. These are his ability scores that we chose. This is what the Genova Lifestream Infusion kind of thing gave him here. It gave him some spell-like abilities. It gave him some stat boosts, but it also granted him 2 Indefinite Madnesses. We chose some spells we thought that fit what he could do. Chromatic Orb, Levitate, Fly, Vampiric Touch, and then as well as the additional ones that he could do from his Genova abilities. Again, here's his ability scores. He's built kind of off an Azamar, so he has resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. He has a little bit of self-healing as an action. He has additional self-healing for being a fighter. He's Action Surge. He has 3 attacks, and then with Action Surge, that makes it 6. He wields his great sword in 2 hands, so he has great weapon fighting to reroll the 1s and 2s on that. He cannot be disarmed except by choice, and if he is not with his weapon, he can summon it to his hand at will. When he makes a cantrip attack, he can then make a bonus action attack with his weapon. He can reroll 2 failed saving throws per short rest with Indomitable, and when he hits a creature with a weapon attack, they have disadvantage on saving throws against his spells until before the end of his next turn. And then it is a +3 weapon, so he has a +14 to hit and does 2d6 plus 9 damage with a singular hit. The sword functions as a sword of sharpness, so it does maximum damage to objects. If he rolls a crit, he does an additional 14 damage and rolls another d20. If he hits that second d20, then he impales the creature. We're going to say sharpness, and then we're going to put in here. If second 20 is hit on a critical, creature is impaled rather than having a limb cut off. It also allows him to use Eldritch Blast from the weapon as the equivalent of a 17th level spellcaster, so he can shoot 4 Eldritch Blasts from the blade as an action, and that would do 4d10 if he hits with all of those. It uses his intelligence, which is an 18, which is pretty solid. And then we just considered his kind of black leather coat to be +2 studded leather armor. So +2 studded leather armor is 14 plus dex. His dex is a 14, so that's 16. But he has shield, so he can bump that up if he needs to. We didn't really get a lot of... Oh, I should put it in his DCs. So it's 4 and 5 is 9. 9 and 8 is 17. And then this is a 9. There we go. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much, I think, going to do it for Sephiroth. Didn't really get a lot of feedback from you folks in the chat, but hey, it happens. I blame myself for not being here last week and having those on and off weeks the past few times of, getting sick, being too tired from 24-hour streams, or just flat out sleeping straight through it like I did last week. So, that's no one's fault but my own. So, again, stay tuned to the channel for some stuff coming out. There's going to be some video game streams, I believe, happening relatively soon, possibly even later this evening. It's a toss-up between Destiny 2, as Iron Banner is out, and then Shadow of Mordor, because I do enjoy that game greatly. I have not actually gotten a chance to play Shadows of War. It's still in the plastic, but this is one I will play. And if you guys, again, I'll put the link up here in the description. The giveaway is going on until 11:59 p.m. on Friday to win the HasCon exclusive My Little Pony D&D Dice Tins. But as we stated at the beginning, I recently acquired a third. So we have 3 to give away rather than 2. But there will be a video coming out shortly about that. But you guys get to hear it first because you were here live. So anyway, guys, I'll also be on the lookout for a new stream starting on the off Mondays when the Belladonnas aren't playing. So that'll be starting on the 23rd of October. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of It Builds Character. Why don't we open up a new Chrome window over here, and we will see what we've got up next. So we did Sephiroth this week. Next week is going to be a Warforged pirate. So this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be not tied to a specific character. All I had to build was a Warforged pirate, so I get to have some fun in what the design is, which is pretty sweet. And then we're going to get into some more stuff, and we have a couple new people added, and I've got to update the formatting, but we're already into middle of February next year with these character build options. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.